Very much all of the SLC students, but especially the competitors in the contest. The elevator pitches is the tradition is that you prepare an elevator pitch as a way of giving yourself an advantage if an opportunity presents itself to you. So the idea is that say you work at a company, you get on the elevator with the CEO of the company, and he's going to the top floor. And you have an idea or project that you want to pursue. Basically, you got 90 seconds to make your case, get that hook into him, and get him to invite you into his office to tell the rest. So that's what these illustrious competitors are doing for us today. Before we get started, I would like to introduce the panel of judges. Now, several people asked me who will we be pitching to? Great preparation. I really appreciated the students that emailed or called with that question. And I answered that we would have an industrial liaison officer from an ERC. We would have someone from a philanthropic organization. We would have 2 venture capitalists sitting on the board and university professor. And what I can say now is that I lied, okay? Through circumstances that were beyond my control, we now have Lisa Mitchell. Lisa, if you wouldn't mind standing up. She's from the Kaufman Foundation, and she's organizing the judges for me. Then I have I have 4 venture capital partners sitting on the judging panel. One is Richard Fox from Astrologus. I don't have my cheat sheet up here, so I don't have the names perfectly right. One is Catherine Cotrell at, what's the name? You're Norton. Oh, you didn't know they could be recovering, I'm sure. Nobilis. Okay. Dan Gordon at Valhalla. If you have a chance to talk with him, he'll tell you where the name comes from. And Marco Rubin from Exo Ventures. Now, I would like to also take this opportunity before I hand it over to Portia to thank Richard Fox for organizing the 2nd and 3rd place prizes for us. And this will be basically free registration at your pick of several venture capital or angel conferences. And then I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Innovation Accelerator, which is represented today by Tracy Hancock. And you really want to be her friend because she brought the check for $5,000. And they were really I really appreciate them making that donation to help kickstart this competition. So with that, I'm just going to end with a quote. This is from W. Arthur Porter, and the innovation point is the pivotal moment when talented and motivated people seek the opportunity to act on their ideas and dreams. So good luck, all of you.
So we will have 13 competitors come up and present their pitch. It must be 90 seconds, and they will be timed. There's a timer. And you're advised to stay under that time limit. And so we will start with our first speaker. I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name. Aditya Asan from the ERC for Integrated Access Networks. Yes. The timer's being kept in the back. And there's a timer here for all the contestants that you can see.
Being green is in now. You might recycle, you might drive a hybrid car. But did you know every day you unconsciously contribute to the energy guzzler known as the internet? The ICT industry accounts for 1 to 2% of the world's total energy consumption, the same amount as the aviation industry, for example. And with increasing number of consumers and diverse applications such as HD streaming, cloud computing, telemedicine, there is exploding bandwidth demand, which is resulting in unsustainable increases in energy consumption. Here is a clear need for intelligent optics, and that is where our research on the CyanBox comes in. The CyanBox is an all-optical, cross-layer-enabled aggregation node. It does real-time performance monitoring on the physical layer and uses these metrics in conjunction with higher-level constraints to allocate bandwidth dynamically. This improves network efficiency and results in energy savings due to fewer optical to optical conversions and reduction in over-provisioning of network resources. The CyanBox is projected to reduce energy consumption by a factor of 100 and increase bandwidth utilization by a factor of 4. And the best thing about the CyanBox, it's plug and playable and will fit in seamlessly with existing infrastructure. Thank you.
Second, we have Aditya Kunjapar from the Synthetic Biology ERC.
Sorry.
Okay, let's try that again. Now we will have Aditya Kunjapar from the Synthetic Biology ERC.
Okay, skin cancer is a big problem. You can see the statistics. About half of all US cancer cases are skin cancer, and about 1 in 5 Americans will be affected. Yet, here's all we currently do to address this problem. Apply sunscreen evenly to all exposed body parts, and repeat this every day when it's sunny throughout your life. Do you guys think this is effective? Please raise your hand if you've ever had a sunburn. Okay, so here's my proposed synthetic biology solution. Genetically engineer a non-pathogenic bacteria already native to human skin so that it overproduces UV-absorbing compounds. Now, you can also enable a dynamic transcriptional control system that will regulate the production of the UV-absorbing compounds based on the UV level of exposure. And finally, for practical reasons, you can make this whole process work and control the growth based on infrequent consumption of a pill. Now, like Steve Jobs, this technology could have the potential to affect multiple industries. For example, if you could do this, it wouldn't be that much harder to engineer the bacteria to overproduce fragrant compounds. Why fragrant compounds? Well, for example, the value of the fragrances industry is $30 billion. However, the impact of saving human lives from skin cancer is beyond measurable. So please, think outside the bioreactor and help me engineer better skin flora. Thanks.
Next, we have Matthew Lee from the Quality of Life Technology Center.
So I'd like you to think about one of your elderly relatives, a mother or your grandmother. I'd like to improve her quality of life, which is the mission of our center, by using sensors in the home to track her cognitive abilities. Some of the earliest signs of Alzheimer's are when people start to make mistakes in their everyday tasks, like taking medications. Normally, it's pretty hard to keep track of these changes, but computers are actually really good at tracking things like that. I'd like to introduce DwellSense, a direct-to-consumer, intelligent suite of sensors embedded in the home that can track how well tasks are performed. DwellSense uses sensors like a smart pill box that tracks how people take their pills, a phone sensor that can track how well people dial the phone, and a smart coffee maker that tracks all the steps of making coffee. DualSense can revolutionize evidence-based care by empowering doctors with hard data about how their patients behave at home. Older adults can support their self-awareness of their abilities by reflecting on their own behaviors enabled by DualSense. And DualSense can be used to track the efficacy of treatments within the preferred emerging model of home health care. And this can all be done unobtrusively, frequently, and in the context that really matters, the home. I give you DualSense.
Next, we have Lukas Urbanski from the ERC for Extreme Ultraviolet Science and Technology.
Let me tell you how Space Invaders can make you money. Every prototyping process of any computer chip always starts with a generic and expensive, commercially available integrated circuit, a substitute called an FPGA. The final product of the prototyping process is a robust and efficient chip suited for a specific application called an ASIC. The sooner you can cut over from an FPGA to an ASIC, the lower your cost to market will be. The migration, however, takes a lot of trial and error design, which is not being well served by massive chip foundries, which are suited for mass production. Now, my solution to that problem is a prototyping chip fab in a room. This incorporates state-of-the-art next-generation EUV light source, together with defect-tolerant technique of printing, will reduce the time to the final ASIC design from months to weeks. The idea of defect tolerance was proposed as part of my research. I have created the mask of those Space Invaders and purposely planted a defect in one of them. The proposed process resulted in self-correcting printing. You can expect to benefit from my approach in shortening the time to market and lowering the cost to market by simply cutting over from expensive FPGAs sooner. Moreover, the technique has the ability of creating custom domestic shops that would promote securing the intellectual property that might be at risk at an offshore facility. So how about we sit together and play some Space Invaders?
Okay. Next, we have Javier Cardenas from the ERC for Biorenewable Chemicals.
Can we go back?
I made a mistake. There we go.
There are an average of over 2 cars per household in the United States. And as, excuse me, and as a society, we have come to depend on this mode of transportation. I'd like you to go back to an archaic age and imagine meeting today's demand by primitive means. It's not feasible. It was Henry Ford's innovation that facilitated manufacturing of mass-produced automobiles. And history has shown us time and time again this need to streamline. In the industry of biotechnology, it's exactly the same thing, where we use microbes as cell factories. But how are we going to revolutionize engineering microbes? Let us consider Genomatica and their success story in the engineering of biorenewable butanediol, which has a market share of $4 billion worldwide. With an initial investment of $84 million, they were able to achieve a small pilot scale time of 2.5 years, winning EPA's Presidential Green Chemistry Award. The novelty here came from the ability to innovate a new framework and engineer expansion of tools and resources, which we will do by using a historically diverse and isolated group of fields, including enzyme engineering, metabolic engineering, and computational modeling, to develop versatile platform microbes. This will give us an impact of introducing a biorenewables industry and streamline biocatalyst development and truncate time to market. Thanks.
Next, we have Wilston Castellano from the ERC for Collaborative Adaptive Sensing of the Atmosphere.
Hi, my name is Wilson Castellano. I am from the CASA ERC at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez. CASA's goal is to deploy a gap-filling radar network to monitor weather events in the lower atmosphere. According to the Global Climate Risk Index in 2010, $1.7 trillion and 600,000 lives were lost due to severe weather events. And we believe that our small X-band radars could have a positive impact in these numbers. SPHERE is a radar company created as a spin-off from the CASA ERC. SPHERE's purpose is to provide an inexpensive alternative for developing countries to access this technology. Currently, developing countries don't have access to this technology because of the high cost. Our target market is primarily Latin American countries, but not limited to those countries. Our product is cheaper because we have created a solution with components from the shelf, commercial off-the-shelf components. So we are raising $200,000 as seed money to target an initial market of $2 million in 3 years. This market will grow 4 times by year 6, and so far we have communicated and contacted several venture capitalists who are interested in investing in our company. Thank you.
Next, we have Kyle Merrill from the Center for Compact and Efficient Fluid Power.
Hi, I'm Kyle Merrill with Smart Hydraulics. My computerized hydraulic system makes existing heavy machinery obsolete. One of the biggest barriers companies like Caterpillar or John Deere have with cells is the reliability of their old machines. A proven 70% increase in efficiency will make the old machines obsolete and the new machines a sound investment. We partnered with Caterpillar to test our technology at the CAT Proving Grounds. Let's just say the results impressed them. As you can see from the slide, today's hydraulic systems average 21% efficiency. Or for every 100 horses going into the system, only 21 do work. However, a machine with smart hydraulic systems will require 40% less power to do the same work. Our technology is the difference between a 77 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme and a new Toyota Corolla. $10 million will take us to market. Let me take you to lunch at the Capitol Grill, and we can talk over the details and see if your firm is a good match for Smart Hydraulics. Wednesday or Friday, which is better for you?
That was pretty smooth. I must say so, yes. Good. Next, we have Datren Chu from the ERC for Revolutionizing Metallic Biomaterials.
Every day, people suffer from accidents, trauma, injuries, infections, and tumors that result in the loss of bone. In addition, the population is aging rapidly, meaning that there are more and more people at risk for bone-related injuries. Oftentimes, these injuries require you to put in a material that will act as a support and fill in the missing bone. Just like if you have a pothole in the street, you need to fill it in with new cement. Now, this is a huge industry. It's called bone grafting. It generates over $2.5 billion each year in sales in the United States. However, there's a major problem with these. It is that surgeons must take this bone graft material and chisel it, shape it, whatever it takes to get it to fit the complex size and shape of the bone defect site. This wastes countless hours of operating time, increases costs for insurances, for hospitals, and increases patient risk. Thus, this is where our solution comes in. We are developing MechGraft, which is customizable, patient-specific bone graft implants, which are based on the patient's own CT scan so that they can be placed directly into the implant site without any hassle. They are made out of strong, biodegradable, patent-pending porous metallic alloys that will disappear while conducing new bone to form, take its place, heal the injury, good as new. Thus, we offer the competitive advantages of improving patient outcomes, reducing operating time, reducing the cost associated with that, and reducing patient risk. That is why MechGraft is head and shoulders above the competition in the bone graft industry. Thank you. Here's my card.
Next, we have Thomas Nudell from the ERC for Future Renewable Electric Energy Delivery and Management, Freedom.
Thank you. I'd like to begin by asking you a question. If a power line goes down near Cleveland, does it cause a blackout in New York? It did in 2003, and that blackout cost nearly $6 billion. In the United States, annually, blackouts cost an estimated $80 billion. But these wide-scale blackouts can be prevented through faster, more accurate sensing. And this is exactly what the research that we're doing. Consider a doctor checking vital signs, taking measurements, and then writing a prescription to prevent, say, heart attacks. What a system operator does in a power system, this exact same thing, comparing the current state of the network to a healthy state of the network. From this, he can take critical preventative action. The current technology allows this doctor to make measurements to check a single vital sign on the order of minutes, maybe once every 2 or 3 minutes. What our fundamental research is enabling this doctor to use sensors that can check the power system, take multiple vital signs on the order of thousands of times a minute. This is near real time. Furthermore, this is a low-cost technology. Fairly inexpensive sensors. What we need now is $200,000 and another 12 months to complete fundamental research. And in this time, we'll also conduct voice of the customer, find out what he or she needs. Thank you.
What happened? What happened?
He was taking a picture.
Oh. Okay, ready? We now have Tracy Tsai from the ERC on Mid-Infrared Technologies for Health and the Environment.
My ERC studies air pollution because we need to know what's in the air around us, and my invention, PALS, can tell you that. It looks at an optical fingerprint. So if you know the intensity and wavelength, you can determine the type of molecule and its concentration. Now the problem is knowing the wavelength. If you're off by just 3 nanometers, you don't know if you're looking at nitrous oxide or ozone. So we invented a wavelength control system that gives PALS the best precision out there. Now my main competitor, the FTS, its precision scales with size. The bigger it is, the better its precision. So it's slow and it's big, and you can't take that out anywhere. Now PALS, this wavelength control, it's just electronics. There are no moving mirrors. So it's small and fast. And now environmental scientists finally have something they can take out into the field, measure emissions from smokestacks, or even measure plants breeding to see how forests are taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Also, oil and gas industries can use PALs to look for leaks in pipelines, saving them money. Now, the FTS is old news. It's time for an upgrade. My PALs is the iPod to the FTS record player. This is a $1.1 billion industry, and I invite you to join me. If you want, we can talk about this now or later, preferably now. Thank you.
Be half ready this time. Okay, next we will have Ping Tao from the ERC for smart lighting.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peng Tao from Smart Lighting ERC. We have invented a new encapsulating material for lighting emitting diode called transparent polymer nanocomposite, TPNC. Using this material, we can increase the efficiency of LEDs by more than 20%. This means a saving of $86 billion every year on global lighting electricity. Our TPNC has two important features. Firstly, it has a high refractive index up to 1.8, achieved by incorporating high refractive index nanomaterial into LED encapsulating polymers. The high refractive index TPNC can increase the light escaping angle, so the light extraction efficiency of LEDs can be increased by more than 50%. As more light coming out, there will be less heat inside it. So the lifetime of LED devices are expected to increase significantly. Furthermore, we successfully incorporate nanophosphors into this TPNC to develop high-efficiency, long-scattering light conversion material. This advanced TPNC will not only increase the efficiency of white line LEDs, but also simplify the manufacturing process, save the cost by 5%, which means a saving of $600 million every year, considering current $12 billion LED market. We believe our TPNC will deliver you better, brighter light at low cost. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Jonathan Colon from the Center for Structured Organic Particulate Systems.
In many cases, high-volume drugs and low-volume drugs are produced in the same facilities, sharing the same equipment. Now, this results in challenging and scheduling challenges regarding equipment availability, leading to drug shortages. My solution is to create a parallel process that allows you to have your equipment available for your blockbuster product at all times. This is a result of reformulating many of the low-volume drugs in simple polymeric formulations developed in our ERC. In summary, this parallel process allows you to have your V-blender, roller compactor, tablet press, and other equipment available at all times for your blockbuster products. I can guarantee that this process is simple, reduces space requirements with minimum equipment investments, and I would love to explain the process in the Q&A session. Now, the impact of this approach is that this allows you to have both high and low volume drugs to be produced in the same facilities, reducing the problem of drug shortages. Now, this is very significant for the industry, considering that 63% of the drugs listed in the FDA's drug shortage list are due to manufacturing delay issues. My name is Jonathan Colon, and I'm looking forward to work with you in reducing drug shortages and impacting the bottom line of your company. Thank you.
Okay. Is this on? Okay, so last but not least, we will have Viviane Gaderi from the ERC for Biomimetic Microelectronic Systems.
Hi everyone. I would like to tell you about our Nutrimatic device and how it can help the 26 million Americans with type 2 diabetes and reduce the $200 billion annually in treatment costs. So imagine you have diabetes. To reduce obesity and serious long-term effects, the main problems you will face is you have to keep your glucose levels constant, meaning you have to spend 2 hours a day pricking your fingers to get glucose levels, logging your meals, and exercising. But now imagine you have a device that you can simply scan over your meal, and it gives you its nutritional content. Then you use the same device to scan your finger, and it gives you your glucose levels. This device is the Nutrimatic. It uses portable spectroscopy technology developed with JPL that shines safe lasers onto a sample and calculates its makeup based on its absorption and reflection pattern. This device and its accompanying software then provides suggestions for meal, exercise, and medication dosage and allows the patient to measure blood sugar without pricking their finger. This device saves the patient time and increases compliance, which can reduce treatment costs by up to 20%. We're in the process of filing a provisional patent for this device, and we plan to enter this $100 billion market after year 1 by selling a consumer product that will act as a personal nutritional assessment tool. This will cost us $1 million, which is what I'm asking for today. After 3 years, we plan to sell the fully FDA-approved device that will cost another $2 million. Thank you.
So that's some tough competition. The judges have their work cut out for them. I would like to invite Dr. Deborah Jackson back up for some closing remarks.
So one of the things that, besides the awards going to the students this year, we do also have a trophy that's being awarded to the center that nurtured the student to rise to the top of this competition. What I want to do is acknowledge the fact that students at the Qualt ERC designed the trophy, and one of the students, Garrett Grindle, Garrett, where are you? Actually made it. Please stand up. I really want you to give a round of applause. Here's our trophy, and the industrial liaison officers had a teleconference last week and came up with a name for the trophy, which will be announced at the awards ceremony tomorrow. So, oh, and you have to also thank Portia for being instrumental in helping pull this together. Thank you.